In this video, I'll explain some of the many unions of countries within Europe. There are way too many to talk about all of them, but I've selected a few of the major ones. When talking about these unions, I'm referring to all different types, which can include a trade union like the EFTA or an economic union like the EU. However, I will not be going through consolidated political unions like the UK. We start off with the most famous and complex of the European organisations, being the European Union itself, or EU. The EU consists of 27 member states and was officially started back in 1951, but as the European Steel and Coal Community with only 6 original member states, now known as the Inner Six. The members of the Inner Six are as follows: Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and West Germany, now known as just Germany after the fall of the Berlin Wall. The other 21 members, in decreasing order of population, are Spain, Poland, Romania, Greece, Czech Republic, Portugal, Sweden, Hungary, Austria, Bulgaria, Denmark, Finland, Slovakia, Ireland, Croatia, Lithuania, Slovenia, Latvia, Estonia, Cyprus, and Malta. The UK, until very recently, was a major member and to this day is the only country to have left the Union. The European Free Trade Association. There are multiple organisations that are closely linked with the European Union, one of which is the European Free Trade Association, or EFTA, which consists of Iceland, Norway, Switzerland and Liechtenstein. These countries all have various reasons for not applying for full membership, but all agree on joining the European Single Market, which is all this organisation is for. They have the benefits of the single market, but cannot vote on EU laws and don't have to follow many of the EU regulations. The Schengen Area. The Schengen Area is an agreement between EU nations that there should be no visa control between European citizens, meaning you could travel from Lisbon in Portugal all the way to Oslo in Norway without a passport check. There are 26 cooperating countries. Of the 27 EU states, 22 are in the Schengen area. Bulgaria, Cyprus, Romania and Croatia are legally obliged to join, but haven't as of yet. And Ireland maintains an opt-out, similarly to the UK pre-Brexit. As well as the EU nations, all 4 of the EFTA are in Schengen, as well as the 3 microstates of Monaco, San Marino and the Vatican. The Eurozone. Finally, the last major organisation connected to the EU is the Eurozone. The Eurozone is a monetary organisation set up to create a single European currency to improve international trade. The euro has been adopted by 19 member states of the EU. In decreasing population, they are Germany, France, Italy, Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, Greece, Portugal, Austria, Finland, Slovakia, Ireland, Lithuania, Slovenia, Latvia, Estonia, Cyprus, Luxembourg and Malta, as well as the EU nations. 4 non-EU states which have monetary agreements with the EU also use the euro, being Andorra, San Marino, Monaco and the Vatican. And finally, 2 nations have unofficially adopted the euro, which are Kosovo and Montenegro. They both have no agreement with the Eurozone, but have unilaterally adopted the currency anyway. Now we've finished with the EU, we can move on to the next major player in terms of European organisations. The Council of Europe. The Council of Europe, or COE, is a distinct organisation separate from the EU, although often confused due to the EU adopting the same symbolic European flag. The COE was formed in the wake of World War II to uphold the rule of law in Europe. It has 47 member states, making it much larger than the EU. However, the Council does not have the power to enact binding laws, only to enforce agreements between nations. In order of the date the nation joined, the current members are as follows: Belgium, Denmark, France, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, the UK, Greece, Iceland, Turkey, Germany, Austria, Cyprus, Switzerland, Malta, Portugal, Spain, Liechtenstein, San Marino, Finland, Hungary, Poland, Bulgaria, Estonia, Lithuania, Slovenia, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, Andorra, Latvia, Albania, Moldova, North Macedonia, Ukraine, Russia, Croatia, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Monaco, Serbia and Montenegro. As well as these member states, there are 3 nations that have left the Council, which are Saarland, Czechoslovakia and Serbia and Montenegro. These countries all left due to the dissolution of their nations. Saarland was absorbed into West Germany, Czechoslovakia split into Czechia and Slovakia, and Serbia and Montenegro split into Serbia and Montenegro respectively. One noticeable state not in the council is Belarus. Belarus applied in 1993 but have yet reached the minimum principles of democracy, as well as refusing to abolish the death penalty. Kosovo is unable to join due to their ongoing dispute with Serbia, and the Vatican is a neutral state. The Big Four. Now we move on to much smaller groupings of nations, beginning with the Big Four or G4. This is an unofficial grouping of countries which was first enacted as a concept during the Great Recession, where French President Nicolas Sarkozy called for a meeting in Paris with Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, British Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and described the nations as the four big European countries. However, historically, they have been referred to as the Big Four of Europe since 1919. The Visegrad Group. The Visegrad Group, otherwise known as the V4, is a cultural and political alliance between the four Central European nations of Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia and Hungary, which started in 1991. It was made to advance cooperation in military, cultural and economic matters to further their integration in the EU and NATO. Benelux. This Western European political and economic union, which consists unsurprisingly of Belgium, the Netherlands and Luxembourg, with the name being formed as early as 1944. The union promotes formal international intergovernmental cooperation of the three states. The name is also used as a geographical term to describe the region of Europe. The Baltic Assembly. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the region of Europe we're focusing on, the Baltic Sea. The Baltic Assembly, established in 1990, consists of the three Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. It is a similar construct to the Benelux states, as it also promotes intergovernmental relations between the nations. Issues including economic, political and cultural matters are discussed. The Assembly, however, is only advisory, so contains no major power in the region. This is not to be confused with our next organisation, the Council of the Baltic Sea States. Formed in 1992 in Copenhagen to respond to geopolitical changes in the Baltic Sea during the Cold War, the Council of the Baltic Sea States, or CBSS, is a regional international association focusing on identity, security and prosperity in the region. The CBSS has 12 member states and 11 observer states. The members are Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, Norway, Poland, Russia, Sweden and the European Union. Yes, they act as a sovereign state in this situation. The 11 observers are Belarus, France, Hungary, Italy, Netherlands, Romania, Slovakia, Spain, Ukraine, the UK and the USA. The Nordic Council. Similarly to the Baltic Assembly, the Nordic Council focuses on a region of Europe which is essentially unable to be a member of unless you're already a part of the club. The Nordic Council was formed in 1952 and has 5 full members and 3 associates. The members are Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden, with the associated being the Faroe Islands, Greenland and Ireland. There are 87 representatives from all full members and associates who attend generally 2 sessions a year with certain themes to discuss. The West Nordic Council. Within the Nordic Council, the nations of Iceland, Greenland and the Faroe Islands make up the West Nordic Council. Formed in 1985, the sole purpose is to discuss North Atlantic interests and to cooperate to improve relations and collaboration in the Nordic Council. The British-Irish Council. The British-Irish Council consists of Ireland, the UK and the devolved nations of Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Guernsey, Jersey and the Isle of Man. Notably, England does not have a devolved parliament, giving no specific representation, although the UK Parliament often gives English views. Their aims are to improve relations between the countries and collaborating on areas of transport, environmental issues and energy. The Union also allows movement between the nations of Northern Ireland and Ireland. The GUAM Organisation for Democracy and Economic Development. Simply, the GUAM consists of the Eastern Bloc post-Soviet nations of Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan and Moldova. Conceived in 1997, its main purpose is to harmonise and integrate commercial, diplomatic and democratic relations between its member states. The group had a short-lived fifth member of Uzbekistan in 1999, changing the name to the GUUAM. However, they withdrew 3 years later, shortly after the Andijan massacre, thus changing the name back to the GUAM. The Central European Free Trade Agreement. Back to a free trade organisation, the Central European Free Trade Agreement, or CEFTA, formed in 1992, is an international organisation between, despite the name, mostly southeastern European countries. These member states are as follows: North Macedonia, Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Moldova, Montenegro, Serbia, and the UN on behalf of Kosovo. The idea of the group is to promote free trade between nations that are not within the EU. The reason that the name doesn't represent the country's geographical position is because there have been many members in the past that have left in favour of the EU. Think of CEFTA as the Europa League and the EU being the Champions League. These past members include Poland, Hungary, Czechia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Romania, Bulgaria and Croatia. With this map you get a sense of the origins of the group. The Organisation of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation. This is an organisation similar to the Baltic Sea Council, whereby we are focusing around a united sea between the nations. The Organisation of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation, or the BSEC, is a regional international group concentrating on multilateral political and economic initiatives between member states surrounding the Black Sea. Formed in 1994 in Istanbul, the organisation consists of 12 member states, which are as follows: Albania, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Georgia, Greece, Moldova, Romania, Turkey, Ukraine, Serbia, North Macedonia and Russia. There are also 14 observer states, which I will put on screen now. The Union State. I would like to quickly touch on one of the smaller unions of Europe, but one of the largest in terms of land area, being the Union State, which is an international union between Belarus and Russia, essentially creating a miniature Schengen area whereby residents of either countries can move and work freely. Community for Democracy and Rights of Nations. We have now reached the final international organisation I will be going over in this video, which is the Community for Democracy and Rights of Nations, otherwise known as the Commonwealth of Unrecognised States. This is a unique group as none of them are full members of the UN, meaning that they are not full recognised nations. The community consists of former Soviet states, being Abkhazia, Artsakh, South Ossetia and Transnistria. Established in 2006, the aims of the group are eventually to receive full recognition and to resolve conflicts between Moldova, Georgia and Azerbaijan, respectively. There are plenty of groups I haven't even touched on this list, and I'll make another video specifically on post-Soviet organisations, as there are so many, but I hope I've given some insight into the complex world of European organisations. This video will most likely be outdated within months of me posting it, so make sure to double check anything I've said before taking it as fact if you're watching this in the future. Thank you very much for watching.